All right, good morning everyone. It is the morning of day 12 and we're getting ready to do our day 11 recap. We have no idea what sounds are going to be in the background. Right now there's some type of bell. It was on a minute ago, but it didn't last very long, so we'll see if it goes away. We're currently in the Imperial Gardens in Kyoto, and this giant park is just about 2 blocks from our hotel. So we thought rather than filming our day 11 recap in the confines of our small room, we would try to do it out here, outdoors, and try to get some nice background scenery for you. So, Nick, would you like to join me on our lovely little stump?
I will join you on the stump.
Thank you. So, our day 11 recap was our first day in Kyoto and our very first time actually participating in a guided tour where we were one of the people following a lady with a flag. We've been seeing those tours going on all over the place, no matter which city we're in. There's always a guide with a flag and a whole group of people following them. And yesterday, that was us.
Yeah, it was fun. So I think we're in the Kyoto Gion Gardens, which is part of the Imperial Grounds, and the gate behind us, I believe, is supposed to be the Emperor's Gate. I don't know for a fact, but someone can fact check me. I'm sure that's a thing these days, right?
Yes.
So
a quick Google Map recon, and that's where we think we are.
yeah. So in any case, that's where we are, and the setting is beautiful.
It is very peaceful. There are giant trees here and giant crows.
Right. So we're going to try not to be too loud because we don't want to disturb other people that are enjoying the ambiance of the nice manicured and well-kept grounds here.
Which just before we hit play, there was this adorable family with 2 little boys, and I'm guessing maybe they were from China, I'm not sure, but they came over to this pine tree and were just picking the pine cones off. I'm wondering if they don't have pine trees in that part of China where they're from, but they were really excited by the pine cones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was super cute. But yeah, so recap of day 11.
Day 11. Let's see. Well, day 11 we got here, right?
Well, no, we woke up here.
Never mind, we woke up here.
Yeah, remember we had to be at the Kyoto station
Oh yeah. So
yep.
yeah, we did our tour.
We did our tour, yes.
Yeah. You were just talking about that.
I was.
So
he was setting up, so he missed that.
Anyway, so yeah, we did the tour. No, actually, I think I was sitting right next to you.
Oh. But we booked this tour on the Klook app. So
yeah, Dor did a great job. So it was. We don't often do that.
Oh yes, like so far
Very rarely
I've
do we.
only booked 3 things on the Klook app. I've booked the Tokyo Lab Planets, which we did in Tokyo. I booked this particular tour that we're getting ready to talk about. And then I've also booked the Tokyo Lab Borderless that we will do on the day before we head back home.
Right, and so we went to the station and got on the train to, I guess we were going to Kyoto Station, right?
Yes, yep, we went from our hotel to Kyoto Station because for this particular tour, you had to meet at 8:40 to catch the bus, which was going to leave at 9 o'clock.
Right.
And I can't remember the names of all the things, but essentially this tour was where we were going to take the romantic train for 30 minutes, and then you get on a boat and go down I can't even remember what the name of the river was. It started with an H. But you take like an hour and a half.
Katsuri River or something like that. I don't remember,
But you take an hour and a half to go down the river to end up essentially right back where you started before you got on the romantic train. And then you have 2 hours to spend exploring this town that started with the letter A, which is famous for the bamboo forest. And so, yep. And then after that, the tour bus then takes you back to Kyoto Station. So all in all, this tour went from 9 in the morning and we got back to Kyoto Station at 3 in the afternoon. So yeah.
So we got off the train, we got off the train at the station, It took us a little bit to locate our bus and our tour guide, but we did that pretty easy. And then from there, it was just get on the bus. They had a little translator device that you could listen, little transponder that you could plug in and hear the translation to English. On the way there, I used it, but I didn't need to have it. I don't think it wasn't because I can understand anything. It's just everything is easy, right? It's just look at the directions when they're telling you where to be and when to be there. They point it on the map, and they have a little sign that has a time to be there, and you understand to be there. So other than that, it was super easy. We found our bus, we got on, traveled to our romantic train stop.
Yes.
And the romantic train is an abandoned section of the JR line that they've just turned into an old route that was it a diesel locomotive or something like that?
Oh gosh.
I think it was a diesel.
I have no idea.
In any case, it was not electric like all the other lines, and so that's one of the reasons they don't use it anymore for transportation. It's just a scenic route to take back and forth. So,
and it was so scenic, like not even kidding. Like this 30-minute ride, it didn't matter which side of the train you were on, because both sides at different times had a view of the river.
Right.
And as you're going through, like on the side of, it felt like you're on the mountain side. It was probably just a really big hill, but it felt like you're going through a mountainside. You could look down into the valley and see the river, and then you could see the boats that we would be getting on to come back. So you could see them. It was almost like white water rafting in wooden boats.
Right.
Because you also could see people kayaking and actually whitewater rafting.
Yeah, and we say kayaking. It was whitewater kayaking. So
yes.
But yeah, so it was interesting. And yeah, it was mountains.
Okay.
It was mountains.
Okay. Yeah, they were giant.
I would liken them to the Smokies or the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yeah, covered in trees, like lush greenery, pine trees, like lush green trees.
Steep hillsides.
Very steep hillsides. Because I was often thinking, like, could you even climb up? It was so steep.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we took the train ride, and it was nice. The weather was good. It was cool going through the mountains, a little cooler than down in the valley here. But it was rather pleasant. Not very sunny, but nice. It's just nice, cool morning.
Yes.
And so still not knowing what to expect.
And I'll back up just a little bit, because the tour started kind of early for us. We've gotten used to sleeping in here. When we left our hotel and we got to Kyoto Station, and we had just a little bit of time before we had to find where this tour bus was, we did our breakfast at the 7-Eleven. Egg salad sandwiches and a latte. I really like the 7-Eleven lattes. So, sorry to back up, I just wanted to add in the breakfast because you really didn't get another chance to eat until after the train ride and the boat ride, when you get to the town where you have the 2 hours to spend.
Right.
So, yes.
Well, you did have a section there. It was while you're waiting to get on the boat.
Oh, yes, yep. While you were waiting to get on the boat, they have like a little shop area, and with signs saying you're welcome to eat on the boat. They were selling snacks and alcohol even. But to be honest, once we were on that boat, it was a little tough to eat on the boat. Not that it was so rough with the rapids, because they did point out that the water level was quite low this particular time, and so, but it was just because you were kind of really congested. On our boat there were 21 people, and how would you describe our boat?
It was a fiberglass boat with wooden plank seats and a wooden plank floor.
Okay, yep. And some of them
approximately 30 feet in length, and
at the widest point they had 4 people sitting across.
Yeah, it was like a berth.
So it was kind of long and narrow.
Yeah. What would I say? It's just an open, like a big skiff.
Yeah, and describe how they steered it.
So it had a, what do I say? I'm trying to think. It's probably about 6 feet wide.
Yeah,
I think it's about 6 feet wide. They sat 4 people across generally.
Our row, we had 3 people because we were toward the stern of the boat.
Yeah, and we were out of people, or else they would have stuffed somebody else in there probably.
That's true.
But in any case, they bounced the boat out, and then the steering and, well, it was all operated by hand. So you had a guy in the back that basically sculled it.
He manned the rudder.
Well, it was like sculling almost. I think he had a big sculling oar.
I don't know what sculling is.
It's where they have a big sculling oar.
That clarifies it. Sure.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
difference between a sculling oar and a rudder?
It's really long, and it's like having a tiller, only.
Okay.
Look it up.
Okay, I will.
You know, like the boats in Venice? I'm pretty sure those are sculled too.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well.
they have a big oar off the back, you know. Anyway,
Okay. And what was happening in the front?
there was a gentleman with a pole that would walk up to the bow of the boat and then run down and pushing a stick to move us forward, and then another gentleman on the side that had an oar.
Yeah, and he
Or a
would do
row.
the rowing.
Yeah, and he would. It was, had like an eyelet, so that way he could sit there and.
And it was only rowing on one side.
That's right.
So the one guy doing the rowing, holy my goodness, was he getting a workout. Well, honestly, so the rower guy was clearly visible. He was sitting right in the bow of the boat, rowing steadily. The guy pushing the stick and running alongside to give momentum to push the boat, like he was
Over the
running
rocks
from the
and-
bow to the stern-ish.
Yeah.
And then the guy in the stern was steering. The stern was steering. And then throughout this hour-and-a-half trip, they would rotate who did which job. And so these guys worked hard.
Worked their butts off, yeah.
I've been feeling bad for the rickshaw drivers having to like run with people in their rickshaw, but these boat operators, man, they were working it.
Yeah, they definitely earned their money, whatever they earned. I don't know what they got, but
Because I think since the water was lower, they had to do a lot more work. Because
Right.
they explained in their broken English that at the peak of the water height, like you can do that trip in like 50 minutes. And here it was going to take us an hour and a half.
right. So during the high water, it obviously moves faster,
Yep.
but we were low water, so there's times we were kind of barely making it across.
Yeah, they were rowing hard.
They were rowing hard, and we were scraping along the bottom in some places.
Yeah.
So
But it was just gorgeous. Like giant mountains of trees on either side of you. Many times we were going under bridges where the JR rail line was crossing over the river.
Yeah.
And then there were a few times they'd point out they didn't say it was koi fish, but they looked like colorful koi fish. What did they call them?
carp,
Carp are that color?
but they said more like cop.
Carp are that color? Not in
Asian
America.
carp deer.
Oh, they were beautiful.
Yeah,
And
I'm
the
probably
water.
wrong about that too.
Water was very clear, so you could see the colorful koi carp in the water.
Yeah.
And then we saw lots of birds and turtles. And though, there were a couple whitewater places, but really it was a calm, peaceful ride.
It wasn't bad. There were some deep spots. I think you said it was like one spot was like 50 meters. I'm not sure if it was that.
I
that
don't
deep,
know.
but could have been.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was just it was easy going.
It was.
But then we also had a 30-foot boat, and
With 21 customers and 3 operators.
yeah, so 25 people
Yeah.
or 24 people.
And they had many of these boats, but they were so spaced out that as you were going down the river, you really didn't see anybody else, any
Right.
of the other tour boats. They spaced them out enough. The only other people you would see were the ones who were whitewater rafting or the whitewater kayaks.
Yeah, I think we were in the heavy boat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the guys in front of us were really fast.
Oh, okay.
They started off
They
and
just
they just
took
left
off?
us. I think they got the unlucky. They were the unlucky ones. They got the big people.
Oh. Well, I'll take the big people over the talker. On the bus, there was a American couple there who were just chatting chatty,
And I didn't have a
chatty,
conversation
chatty,
with
chatty,
him, but
chatty.
I can tell you that he worked for IBM.
Oh yeah, he worked for IBM. They lived in
And-
New York. They didn't get reservations and were getting frustrated while they were in Tokyo. They didn't like Osaka because they thought it seemed just like New York. Like they talked a lot, so I was really glad to not be on their boat.
Yeah, we knew all of that, and we didn't talk to him.
And we didn't talk to them.
Now, I don't know if they were from New York, but
They lived in New York, and while they were here, they were going to go visit the IBM office, and yeah, they had met somebody on the bus, and they did all the talking. The person that they were talking to, I don't think got a single word in.
oh, they got to talk too. I learned about them as well.
Oh, what did you learn about her?
She is going, or she works
she's
in
from
a grad program at
in
Michigan.
Chicago?
or
Michigan.
Michigan State.
She works in a lab,
At a
and she likes to do
laboratory.
the
She's
grunt work.
She's a grunt worker.
Because she
and-
didn't want to write grants like her bosses.
And she does stem cell research.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Yeah.
So,
Man, we sound so hateful.
I'm not being hip. I'm just saying that I understand I know them, and I didn't have to talk to them.
Yeah.
That's
But
all. Now you maybe you have malice in your voice, but not me. I was just saying I also heard the other person.
I think
talk.
I've just gotten so used to now where nobody really says anything. They keep their voice down. Oh, although when we were on the romantic train, they kept having these train announcements, and Nick turned on his translation app so that we could understand, because they didn't re-announce it in English. And I don't know whether our translation app was just not accurate or if it was picking up not only the loudspeaker but also the conversations around us. But we were laughing so hard at what the translation app was translating into English.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it was so funny. And I wish we would have thought to have it here so we could read it out to you right now. But it was truly like just gibberish mixed together. I think our
Yeah.
app just
Like
wasn't picking it up
One
right.
that I remember was like, I am the enemy of my hair.
Yes, and the one about how something about a relationship with your maidservant or something.
Your 6 housewives.
Yeah, something like it was so funny.
I'm having a
just-
relationship with your 6 housewives.
and so
yeah.
we don't really think anybody was saying that stuff. We think it was just mistranslation, but it was entertaining.
It was funny.
But yeah, one thing too, as the boat neared the end where we get to the town of, it starts with an A, something Arashiyama or something, that's where the bamboo gardens are. You could tell it was a very big tourist spot because they had they weren't paddle boats, they were like little rental rowboats, but there was a dam there, and so right where our boat ended, there was a pool of other boats there. But one thing that I thought was a very neat feature was they had like a food boat. It came up to us and docked alongside our boat, and you could buy snacks and beverages, and they even had like a fire going in the boat where they were grilling something.
Oh, yeah,
and
that was the those little what the heck they call them?
I don't even remember
The little balls.
the little pastry balls,
Oh,
dipped-
dumplings, yeah,
dumplings in the
dumplings.
sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, the sweet. No, it's like salty and sweet sauce,
Okay.
not sour.
Okay.
Salty sweet sauce.
But yeah,
it's
so it was like the-
soy sauce, glaze, syrup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the boat pulled up next to us, and anybody who wanted to buy anything could. We bought like a bag of popcorn, and the popcorn ended up being flavored with butter and soy sauce,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
made by Frito-Lay. But it was pretty tasty popcorn.
Mikey's. I think it's
Yeah,
Mikey's.
I think you're right.
Mikey's popcorn. Get you some.
But overall, I really liked the train ride, and I really enjoyed the boat ride, and most of all, I just loved being in nature. It was like for the first time I felt like we were in nature.
It was nice being on the boat.
Yeah.
The rapids were kind of fun.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of splash of water every once in a while.
The seats were a little, by the end,
I
thought
could barely walk.
He could
but my knees were bent the entire time, and when I went to get off, I could barely barely walk.
Because whenever I
first
sat
2 minutes.
straight, like my legs would have been in the backs of the people in front of us. So I had to keep tilting my knees and shifting. And I think because I shifted so much, it caused me not to be near as stiff as you were. But yeah, he had to loosen up after getting out of the boat.
Oh yeah, it took me about 5 minutes.
But then once we got to this city, this little town, it reminded me of honestly, it reminded me of like a subdued version of Gatlinburg because it was like this tourist town built at the foothills of the mountain. It was all, I think, really built around this bamboo forest. And it was just, and granted, it was a Saturday, but it was packed. You had the rickshaw drivers, and you had everybody who had rented their kimonos, and tourists galore from every country. Oh, that was one thing. On our raft, the guide had asked where everybody was from, and there were people from, we were the only ones from the United States. The guy behind us was from Canada. There was a large group of people from Singapore. There were people from Malaysia. Was that all of it?
Yeah, maybe.
Those were the ones that come to mind.
Yeah.
So such a variety of tourists. And I felt that same way whenever we were walking through the town.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of tourists from all over the world.
Yeah, definitely.
And we were hungry at this point, and I really wanted to see the bamboo forest. So we made our way through a few souvenir shops.
Mind you, when Dora gets hungry, I think we've had this conversation before.
Well, but once we were there were so many restaurants, but they were all so crowded that we ended up just going for like a place that sold meat on a stick. And so
easy peasy.
Easy. Yep. So I got
a corn dog.
I got grilled chicken.
Well, it's like a spiral dog.
Yeah, and they gave you ketchup with it instead of mustard.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I wish they would have had mustard. But otherwise, it was a corn dog.
And you got fried chicken on a stick.
I did. I got fried chicken on a stick.
Yep. And then we made our way through a couple souvenir shops and then to the bamboo forest.
The bamboo forest.
Now, for the first time in my mind, it would have been worth it to get a rickshaw because they got to go through special paths that those of us on foot didn't.
Yeah.
And they got priority whenever we were on foot. We always had to stand to the side for the rickshaws. And I noticed that the rickshaw operators would stop and take good pictures of the people on the rickshaw with the bamboo forest in the background. So that is the one place I think it would have been worth it to get a rickshaw. But what was your impression of the bamboo forest?
It's a tourist gimmick.
My thought was, I don't know what I thought in my mind. Granted, there were lots of bamboo, but it was more of a bamboo grove.
Yeah, it's a bamboo grove.
Than a bamboo forest.
Not
I
really
expected it to be bigger. And it was kind of like a little spot where they had bamboo growing and then they made pathways through it.
I think it's really cool, but
I thought it would be bigger.
Yeah, that's what she said.
But it was nice. But had we made a special trip to this place just to see the bamboo forest, I think I would have kind of been disappointed. Luckily, it was just built into this tour package. So it was just like a surprise, like, oh, we're going to get to go do that because I wanted to. And it was just the tail end of the train and the river and then the bamboo forest.
Go see it, get your pictures. Just realize
it wasn't as big as, it's a grove, a bamboo grove.
It's bamboo grove.
Yeah. And they had...
And it's so busy, you might as well, there's more people than bamboo shoots. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
I think you are right on that. And I had read that it's best to go first thing in the morning to where it's less crowded. And we got there at like smack dab at 1 in the afternoon. We had 1 until 3 o'clock to explore it. And that, I imagine on a Saturday, was the peak busyness. Yep.
But it was all right.
It was. I was glad we were there. It worked out fine.
Streets were crowded.
Streets were very crowded between the rickshaw operators, the people on foot, people on bicycles, people with dogs. There were lots of people. And then we did go by an ice cream stand.
Oh yeah, we got some matcha tea ice cream.
Yeah, matcha and some other...
Vanilla. I think it was just vanilla.
I don't think it was vanilla.
I'm pretty sure it was vanilla.
I think it was like yucca or some potato or something.
Oh, whatever. It's soy. It was soy ice cream.
Oh, it was soy. That's what I was thinking of. But I don't know if it was, you think it was soy vanilla?
No, the ice cream itself was soy based. The flavor was matcha and vanilla.
All right. He's usually right. We'll go with that.
Most of the time. Unless I'm not.
It did not taste creamy like ice cream, like cow's milk ice cream. I guess that was the difference with soy.
No, I don't think that's the difference. I think it was just the ice cream machine. And how they
it was kind of more icy than creamy.
I was hoping to be more creamy. And perhaps maybe the other shops had a little bit different recipe that made it more creamy. But it was still ice cream.
It was cold.
It was
nice.
like it's like the ice cream you get out of the Chinese buffet restaurant. That's not so creamy, but still ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. It was tasty. It was good.
Quit complaining.
I'm not. It was a lovely day. It really was a lovely day.
It was good ice cream, not as sweet as American ice cream. It was a little bit less sweet, but it was still ice cream.
Yes, it was.
And then we paired it with the soy sauce balls.
Yeah, the dumplings.
The dumplings.
Fried dumplings on a stick.
Yeah.
Covered in a gooey sauce.
Goo sauce.
Yeah.
That was salty, which was a stark contrast to the matcha ice cream at the time. So
yeah.
It took me like 2 bites to warm up to it, I think.
I kind of liked it. I'd go back and forth between because it had 5 little dumplings on it. And so I did the ice cream and a dumpling, and ice cream and a dumpling. You did all the ice cream and then your 5 dumplings.
That's right.
Yes.
On a stick.
Yep. But then once the tour concluded, we got on our tour bus at 3 o'clock, and they took us right back to Kyoto Station. And we hung around Kyoto Station for a little while. Yeah. We wanted to first off figure out how on earth we get to the Fuji Speedway tomorrow, because
that took a while.
That took a while to figure out. We've been trying to figure it out on the maps, and there's no good way to get to the Fuji Speedway Hotel, which is the next place we go.
I did find a place online that actually kind of outlined it pretty well. And
Google Maps told us it was going to take 10 hours to get there.
Yeah, Google Maps told us 10 hours. Rome to Rio actually gave us a pretty accurate description.
So we end up just going to the Shinkansen info office.
The consultation office.
Yeah, and I expected them to know right off, yep, this is how you do. But he took a while to even figure out how on earth we get from Kyoto to there.
I think we took 20 minutes.
Yeah, and he was so pleasant. And
very,
we had
very patient.
Very patient. Trying to help us figure out the most time-efficient way to get there.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and bought the tickets for that. It was $100 each. It looks like we're taking 3 trains to get there. So we're taking the Shinkansen bullet train, and then we take 2 subway trains, and then the hotel will have a shuttle bus pick us up to bring us to the hotel. So our next hotel, I think, is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Right, but I do think that once we get to the Speedway, going to Tokyo will be really easy. I think it's just 1 train. But instead of going from the, what's the last one? The last station? Starts with the G.
Oh, Guitamo?
I don't know.
G-U-I, Guimba?
The Giemba? What? Gotemba?
Gotemba? That sounds right.
Maybe the Gotemba. Anyway, once we get to that station, on the way there, that's great. But I think on the way out, we'll probably try to get to Odawara and head on the Shinkansen directly to Tokyo.
Okay.
I think that's the way.
Okay.
And I think it's only going to be like an hour or something like that.
We will see. It's going to take us 4 hours to get to our next hotel, and we leave Kyoto tomorrow.
And really, from what our understanding, it's actually quite a ways to actual shopping or anything out there. So we'll try to prepare in advance.
We're thinking now might be the time to buy an extra suitcase to throw some snacks. I doubt the egg salad sandwiches will keep. We may need some extra snacks. From reading the reviews, our next hotel, breakfast is not included, and all the restaurants are very expensive, and there's nowhere nearby to go for less expensive options. So we may pack our suitcase with drinks
But they do have e-bikes, so maybe we can ride our bikes.
They do, complimentary e-bikes. So, and I do think there's a town 30 minutes away. So on an e-bike, maybe that's, I don't know. We'll see how it goes there. But in the meantime, we should finish our day 11 recap.
Well, hang on.
Oh yes, go ahead.
So I think we should finish and get off this train ride that you took us on.
Okay.
And we're going to talk more about day 11.
Okay. I guess I did derail us by talking about getting the tickets.
And that's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Continue.
So we got our tickets.
Ooh, an ant got me.
And then once we got our tickets, we took ourselves to the Kyoto Sky Tower.
Yeah.
Kyoto Tower.
Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Kyoto Yeah, the Kyoto
It starts
Tower.
with an N, though. It's like an N.
Oh.
See, we don't know the names of
I
any of these
know.
places.
We really should do better. I should like have a list
We
of
should
what.
write them down. Anyway, there's a tower.
There's a
only,
tower.
Only tower in Kyoto, so,
Yes.
so feel free to
And
look
you
it
get
up.
a 360-degree view of the city. And so we went to the top of that just impulsively. We were at Kyoto Station. Why the hell not? And once we were up there, it was pretty cool because there are so many temples. Is that what we call them?
Well, there's temples, shrines,
And castles and shrines,
castles,
and you could
palaces,
just see a lot of the stuff from
parks.
there. And they had all kinds of free telescopes positioned, so you could stay as long as you wanted up there and see as much as you wanted.
binoculars.
Binoculars.
Yeah.
They looked like telescopes.
Binoculars.
Telescopic binoculars.
Oh. Binoculars.
Okay.
Knockers. Binockers.
So we got a view, and then we headed down, and he fell.
And then, well, we
He was sucked in to the entrapment
Yodobashi Camera.
of the gosh darn electronics store again. How
It
many
was
times
so
have we been in an
great.
electronics store?
This one
since-
had an even better sporting goods section there.
I mean, they had a whole camping section. I haven't seen that yet, and a music section with like full-size pianos in the store.
This was a nice Yodobashi Camera store.
But at this point, I mean, I'm telling you, this has to be the 5th or 6th electronics store we've been in. I could go the rest of my life without ever going into another department store, another shopping mall, another electronics store. I have reached my limit of enjoyment of these stores. But Nicholas has not. He loves them so much. Every aisle, every floor. I don't know what it is, but it's like a magnet drawing him in.
I played Gran Turismo.
He did. He played the Gran Turismo in the electronics section. They do truly have everything, but I feel we've now seen everything.
Yeah, they do take a little bit of your life.
Oh, and they're so loud, and there's so much. It is like overstimulation.
There's a lot there.
It just sucks the life out of me at this point.
Yeah, you need some caffeine for it.
Oh, man. So yes, so that store sucked
But don't
us
worry,
in.
they do have the chairs. They have the chairs there.
They do. And we walked past the whole setup of massage chairs. And in my mind, I thought we were just kind of going to pass through real quickly. Had I known you were going to spend over an hour in this store, I would have sat my happy butt down in one of those massage chairs and just spent my time there. So lesson learned, don't pass up the massage chair section when you see it.
What else was nice? The coffee machines.
Oh, yes. My goodness. We've fallen so much in love with Nespresso machines. We were actually thinking about buying one to bring home with us because we did look it up on Amazon.
Since we are going to do it, I get to go back to a Yodobashi Camera store when we
They're
get to Tokyo.
cheaper here than they are on Amazon. So it looks like
Not by much, but they are.
we could get one for like $100 to bring home. So it might be our own souvenir, but we will see.
That's right.
We have a perfectly functioning coffee machine at home.
But they're fun.
But the one good thing about Nespresso machines is it may help me break my heavy whipping cream habit. That would save me like 400 calories a day if I just cut out heavy whipping cream in the morning.
We'll get skinny.
Yeah, this could be a diet decision, getting the Nespresso machine.
I think, didn't it say it was made by, what's that?
Oh, it was made by Breville,
Yeah,
the company that makes the really great espresso machines.
Breville. Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, me either.
So,
So we finally made it out of this damn electronics store.
and
But Nick is on a quest to find him a Japanese sweatshirt, and that's what keeps drawing us into all these outdoor
sporting goods
stores.
yes. I want a cool but I think I have to find it at a like a streetwear.
Well,
shop.
today, after we leave this park, we're going to be going to a famous street market here in Kyoto, and maybe that'll be where you find your sweatshirt.
I want something like embroidered, like cherry tree blossoms and all kinds of cool stuff from Japan on it,
You're really going to wear that?
Heck yeah, I will.
Oh my gosh. If you knew how many sweatshirts this man owns.
I love hoodies.
Oh,
They're my favorite.
one day we're going to live on a boat.
And I'll have all my hoodies there. Some will be sleeveless.
We will have every cubby hole filled with your hoodies.
It'll keep us afloat and dry.
So we finally started walking our happy butts back home to our hotel, which we could have easily taken the subway, but it was only like a 3-kilometer walk, and I wanted to see some more of Kyoto.
Yeah, we could see the direction we needed to travel from the tower. I was like, I think it's that way.
And so we just kept walking
And it was a straight
along.
line. I
Yeah.
confirmed with Google Maps, and it said I was right.
Yep.
And so we just took off for a walk, and then we stopped and got some dinner on the way home.
We did. We stopped at a restaurant that had noodles
Yeah.
and things. And my dish, it was kind of neat. It came in a bowl.
Sukiyaki, I think, is what they call it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And so it had like a tea candle under it to where this bowl of noodles and vegetables and beef was boiling.
On fire.
And then it came with a raw egg, and you crack the raw egg into it. I guess some people, well, I was trying to observe what other people did. I cracked my raw egg into it and waited for the egg to cook. But I saw another gentleman, he cracked his raw egg into a dish and like scrambled it. And then he would take his beef out of the boiling water and dip it into the raw egg and put it on his bowl of rice and eat it that way. I'm not all about eating raw egg though, so I cooked mine. But it was good, but your dish was super delicious. It was a curry dish.
It was black curry with beef, and then I ordered some fried chicken on the side and some kimchi on the side, and I also got a bowl of chili oil and like a finely sliced lettuce or something like that.
Okay.
And then I just mixed it all in, minus the kimchi. I used that as a snack.
Yeah, because I did an add-on of kimchi and miso soup to mine, and we had so much food.
It was good.
It was, I mean, I was so glad we still had a bit of a walk to do because I was so full. But for all that food, it was $16.
Yeah, it was great. It was like, I did the review on it, so I called it like what was it? Kind of like a Waffle House. It's like not necessarily breakfast food, but it's like comfort food.
Yeah.
Comfort food that's fast order and good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the one restaurant I wanted to try here in Kyoto was this pizza place that I had heard on a podcast was just phenomenal. And I looked it up, and it requires reservations, and the soonest reservations that they have available for lunch or dinner is like 4 days from now. So we won't get to try that pizza restaurant. But we saw a couple other pizza places.
Yeah.
And so we may try pizza here in
Pizza
Japan.
LA was one.
Yeah, because I have heard that the Japanese do pizza really well.
The Ninja Turtles like pizza.
They do. Were
Yeah.
they from Japan?
Ninjas are from Japan. And
So-
I guess they were from Japan.
I think this kind of
They were from a
wraps...
pet shop, actually. But
Clearly.
Master Splinter was from Japan.
Yeah. Any more you want to share about the Ninja Turtles or Day 11?
Well, the Ninja Turtles are cool, and they like pizza, and you can get pizza in Japan.
So it all comes full circle.
Full circle.
Yes. Well, hopefully during this recording, there's been some decent stuff in the background. I know I could hear tourists going by, so hopefully you kind of get a glimpse of what the day here in the park is like. It is a Sunday morning. I guess it's probably like 10 or 11 by now.
We did
11:30
We did conclude our walk
at our hotel.
and got back to our hotel.
We did. We made it to our
Yeah,
hotel.
we did. Yep.
Yeah. All was well.
All was well.
I do kind of like our hotel. It's very different than the Intercontinental Osaka, but I love how they are conscious about the environment, where they just give you a water pitcher and you can go fill it up at the water station on every floor. And then they give you coffee cups, and you go down to the lobby and you have as much coffee as you want, but instead of using throwaway cups, you just bring your own mug. So in the morning, everybody's kind of coming down with their mugs to
Or
fill.
in the middle of the night, you see them coming down too.
Oh yeah, yep. And then the other cool thing, like so many of the hotels here, the hotel room keys are wooden, but in this particular hotel, which is the Hyatt Place Kyoto, when you touch your key inside the elevator, it automatically lights up which floor you're going to.
It tells you. You don't have to press a button.
Yeah.
Versus the other ones where you had to scan it to get access to the floor. Then
And then you got to
press
press the button. So it
Yeah.
takes one little step away.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, our experience here is very nice. This is our last full day here.
Now the difference with that is that some of those keys probably the other hotels, or because you have other options that you could go
Oh
to?
yes, because there's other floors that
But
have
here,
other
the only thing you're
things.
doing, going to your room, is going to your room. Or
Right.
getting on the elevator is going to your room.
Because any of the the gym and stuff is all on the lobby floor.
That's right.
So you only need access to your floor.
Correct.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Is that a wrap?
I think that's a wrap.
Well, you guys have a good one.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.